right, welcome back. You're watching Inside Politics. It's now time for one of my favorite segments where we get to hear from you back at home in terms of the issues we've been able to canvass during the roundtable discussion right here. We just want to display those numbers on the screen right now, even as we open the lines for you back at home. Remember, you can just start with your name, where you're watching us from, and equally give us your contributions in just 2 minutes or so in terms of the issues we've been able to canvass. Those are the lines we are using. Allow us to shift focus to our first caller on the line, who is Francis Moranga from Kisii County. Apologies from that, just trying to find out the correct name. So Francis, good afternoon.
Hello?
Francis, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello Francis, habari?
Habari yako?
Mzuri sana, uko salama?
Niko hai.
Ya Kisii uko salama?
Niko sawa. I wanted to talk to you, but there is a noise which I don't know why it is coming today.
I'm so sorry about that.
It is really affecting me, therefore I don't know whether I will get you right or wrong.
Kindly proceed. Just finish up in 2 minutes or so.
Yes.
Because we can hear you clearly. Kindly bear with us.
I'm not clear actually.
I am so sorry about that, but we can hear you clearly. If you could give us your take briefly.
Hello?
Continue, kindly give us your take. Okay, unfortunately, we can't seem to get a clear line through to Kisii County, where Francis is calling. The monkeys seem to be hanging on the lines, but we'll definitely sort it out. Give us some time as we align our next caller, who is definitely waiting. But even as we do that, and this will encompass some of the final comments, because Prof, I didn't give you a chance in a minute or so. Let's talk about what Raila Odinga said in terms of his criticism towards the response by the government when it comes to the flood situation in the country. From what Kenya Kwanza leaders are saying is like, you scratch our back, we scratch yours. So it seems the AUC bid might be pegged on Raila's behavior and how he handles local politics. What's your take on that?
Yeah, first of all, this segment began by you saying that the cabinet had a meeting to discuss about the floods, and I told you, if those are your advisors, why do you spend time with them to make a decision? So the president should not waste time there. So Raila is right on that. Second thing is, Raila has to figure out what he wants. Because remember, Raila Odinga had said that Ruto is a liar, Ruto is a thief, and cannot be believed. Then Ruto offers him AU seat, then he jumps on it. He even refused to debate Ruto because Ruto is a liar and a thief. Now, the question is, if Raila knows Ruto is a liar, a thief, and cannot be believed, why did he believe him in the first case that he is going to take him to AU? And then as Kenyans were asking questions, and I'm not here for where I come from, whether I come from Nyanza or not, me, I'm a Kenyan. Tribalism is just an accident. All of us in laboratory are the same human beings. You cannot be given name through laboratory tests that you are so-and-so, or you are tribe. As we're asking that, whenever Raila is hurt, he comes back to the citizen saying he's now fighting for us. When he's thrown a carrot, he jumps the carrot alone and leaves all of us. So the question is, between William Ruto, who is a liar, and somebody who follows a liar when he is given a good thing and leaves the whole country when things are not good on him, whom can we trust between two of them? The answer is none of them. So we can't trust the current crop of politicians. So if Raila Odinga wants to get AU seat, he should be very strategic how he wants it. He should ensure that whenever he goes to meet any head of state somewhere, he takes his own person to go with Mudavadi so that he can be told the truth. But if he's outside the room, can Mudavadi or William Ruto speak nicely about Raila in a closed room where Raila is not? Okay. The answer is not. So according to me, Raila has to be clear because he's holding every hostage. Does he want AU job? We support him for it. Or does he want to become head of state? We support him for it. And does he think that after leaving us and going to another place and coming back, we trust them? In my culture, when a woman leaves you and comes back, her negotiating power is not the same. They diminish. Okay. So if you leave somebody in a camp and go elsewhere and you enjoy, because he was enjoying alone. Ogola died, he was very cold about it, isn't it? When some issues were happening, he was very cold about it. Now he's back. What has hurt him? Let him tell us what has hurt him. What does he want from us? Is he back in politics or not? Let him tell us. We don't want to guess.
Okay,
we want
Prof.
clear communication from him. Because that's what leadership is all about.
Interesting. Let's see if Evans Koyamo holds the same regard. We have our next caller on the line. Hope this one will be clearer. Evans Koyamo is calling from Migori County. Evans, good afternoon. Evans, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Evans. Habari?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Kindly give us your take, Evans. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. On the case of Linturi. Hello.
Yes, Evans, we can hear you. Kindly proceed.
Yeah, on the case of Linturi. Hello.
Yes, Evans, kindly proceed. And in case your TV is on, just reduce the volume. Perhaps it's affecting the connection, but we can hear you. Kindly proceed. Don't stop.
Okay. I want to start with the case of Linturi Kangata.
Yes, Linturi. CS
Linturi.
Linturi. Yes.
Yeah, the prof is very right by saying
okay, another monkey is hanging on the lines, unfortunately. We'll try and connect with our callers yet again. So don't tire, because we won't tire. Apologies for that. Even as we wait for the next caller, Madam, let's talk about something you've mentioned time and time again.
Yes.
It seems you're against the election culture in the country.
Yes.
And you're proposing for a different format in terms of leadership.
True.
How feasible is it, really?
Thank you, Jesse.
Briefly.
How feasible is it?
Yeah.
Very quick one. Right now, everyone in the Republic of Kenya is like, did I vote? I think I never voted. I think it's not me who voted. Everybody is like, we are not the one who voted. Number two, how much does it cost to do an election in Kenya? And then immediately an election, I remember His Excellency, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, said that immediately after an election, we take like 2 years, 2 or 3 years to recover. So, and again, elections fuels corruption in the country, because right now people are steering in government because of election 2027. They are amassing funds and monies that will go into campaigns, election 2027. Then finally, look at IBC. First of all, it was Kivuitu, from Kivuitu to Hassan, from Hassan to Chebukati, and it goes on and on and on. Is it about the individual or is it about the system? So are we telling ourselves that the electoral system has failed? Yes, indeed. And we must agree. We must take the painful truth that elections is not giving us the results that we need in our country. And if we are to enhance public service delivery in this country, we must now embrace vetting of leaders based on meritocracy, based on capacity to deliver, based on integrity and responsibility. Otherwise, the power of the vote can bring anybody and everybody on board, because I remember we were doing a Kenya Bila Uchaguzi public participation in one of the counties, and an elderly lady said that an animal can come carrying money on its mouth, but Kenyans, you take money and vote whatever animal to parliament or to whatever positions. So is election losing value? When we are talking about enhancing democracy, is elections giving us the right democratic rule that we are looking for? Because immediately after elections, Kenyans start complaining. And that's why I'm proposing a system that is called a pure public service system of governance. Look at the president of the judiciary. She never campaigned across the country that I'm looking for votes to be the president of the judiciary, and which the judiciary is one of the arms of government. But come to the two arms of government, the executive and the legislature, we usually vote these people in. Why don't we have vetting and appointment like the way the Chief Justice was vetted and appointed by the JSC? Why don't we establish a governance commission that can vet the head of state and government, and equally the same commission can vet the rest of the subsequent protocols in the various jurisdictions in the country? So the Kenya Bila Uchaguzi bill, I'm sure Kenyans will embrace, because of course themselves, they're tired of voting. Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. And I'm sure Brian has something to say as he's a member of the political class.
Yes.
But before he comes in, we want to try a different caller. I understand there's someone else on the line. John Kibet is joining us from Mandera County. Kibet, good afternoon. I hope you can hear us clearly.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to make my contribution. Not speaking on behalf of UDA, but there's something that I have came to notice. Because somebody was contesting, everybody was contesting was contributing, and now was paying for the election for just to participate. Now, if you do the 27,000 polling stations and all those posts, it's 20,000 shillings. We'll get around 540 million shillings, and that is 300 million shillings. So that we hold it as people of Kenya, as UDO is to its contestants to conduct those elections. Now, when it comes to this issue of elections, there was a former IEBC commissioner by the name of Arthur who wrote in his book about why elections are expensive in Kenya. There is the issue about, like, for example, media paid for the advertisement, the public participation, and that is something that UDA did not conduct. So, and we should also distance ourselves from what ought to be versus reality. In what the government does, like, for example, when it comes to the issue of medical doctors, we cannot have a government where every time people strike, the government plan consists to everything. At times, the government have to be at least staff, because there will be every civil servant will be going on strike. Every ordinary citizen, like, keeps on sitting staff for those civil servants. I think we do a pro rata basis on the number of years doctors spending on versus other professions who are getting paid 25,000. I think 60,000 shillings will be fair enough for the doctors. Okay, I think that's my contribution for today. I don't want to comment about anything else. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you so much. John Kibet calling us from Mandera County, giving us his take on a raft of issues touching on the issue on the medic strike, but most importantly, all to do with the UDA elections, of which we have Brian right here, the head of elections at the party, to respond. Kindly, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think we've done to our limits on our public participation. We've done forums in all the 47 counties.
In all the counties?
Twice. We've met the aspirants twice, both in their areas, 3 times. 2 times in their areas, once in Nairobi, to explain to them and for them to help us disseminate the information to the general public. So on that issue, we've done good. On the issue of medical doctors, I think I tend to agree with him because, for example, in the law profession,
yes,
when you're in the pupillage, you are not a member of law society. Same to engineering board. So I'm wondering if the interns are member of KPMDU or not, because they're still interns. They're still learning. They are not full doctor yet until after the internship. So I think on the issue of that profession, we need to look at it.
Just finalize on what Madame raised in terms
on the issue
of veering away from elections, going towards public service. Yeah.
I think the only model I can see in that is the Chinese model of meritocracy. Otherwise, we are a democratic country, and it's an uphill task for the team to convince us, the political class, because I'm in a political party. Okay. I don't want to do away with election, because I think that's the best place where the citizen speak and have their voice heard.
And exercise their right.
Yes.
And as we finalize with you, what word perhaps would you give to those who were disgruntled in one way or the other with the party elections, the phase 1? We're looking forward to phase 2, which you said is coming really soon. To those who are disgruntled, what do you say to them?
I think the party has processes. We've had 279 filed cases, dispute cases, and the determination is ongoing. So I'll urge them to follow the procedure.
Is there a time frame in terms of sorting?
Yes, there's a time frame of a week.
A week.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And we'll definitely find out more as members of the Fourth Estate. Your final comments, Prof.
No, my concern is when he says that we cannot be able to know when there'll be flooding. And we have a meteorological department where you can consume information. I think Kenya Kwanza has run away by running this country by science and going into faith, which is causing us trouble. And I think that let us give it to them. We are paying money to meteorological department. If they can't give us value, disband it, then now use faith to run the country. Because according to me, we cannot say that we fault Raila on saying, follow science. During COVID, if this government cannot manage to run this country under flooding situation, could they have run this country under COVID when our former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, managed a situation whereby everything was closed in the house? You could not even go to work. Yeah, right. So we are asking this should be done. And allow me just to talk about the education sector on linking this.
Yes.
The president is telling us that we postpone opening primary school indefinitely until further notice. I remember when I was in primary school, when I was chased and being told you cannot attend the class until further notice, I thought my father should come and talk to the teacher. But that means that until further notice, we don't know what are the parameters upon which can allow the opening of the school. Okay. And the school is important by this. 4.3% of the GDP is put in education. A budget of 620 billion thereabout. Right, you can't close down. I have not go here. Education sector, just allow me a minute. We have the private sector playing bigger in the education more than public. So closing it with the public mindset is killing entrepreneurs in the private education. And I can tell you, out of all the primary schools we have, 198 are public. 907 are private. When you make a public decision that affects the entire private education, entire education sector is shambolic. Remember, education sector is number 2 in terms of budget.
That's enough for
Let's be very careful about
Prof.
this decision. Yes.
30 seconds kindly, Madam.
30 seconds.
Yes.
Number one, let us know what we are supposed to prioritize as a government of Kenya towards securing and giving a conducive environment for people of Kenya to be happy to live in their country. Number two, the DCI, ODPP, the judiciary, and the public service. These are not elective bodies of government. Kindly, the public service efficiency and effectiveness depends on you. The buck stops with you on matters public service delivery. When politicians are politicking, kindly, I request that these agencies come on board and ensure that the people of Kenya are well protected and are well governed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for keeping it brief. Esther Waringa, who's the CEO of Public Service Governance, we appreciate your input. Looking forward to hosting you again on the round table. Brian Higgins-Bogwa, all the best as you continue with the UDA elections and all that. He's the Deputy Executive Director of UDA and equally the head of elections. Hoping to host you again on the round table. Asante for your contribution. Equally joined by Professor Fred Ogola. Thank you so much. Your input is definitely valued. He's a strategy and governance expert. That's how we wrap up today's edition of Inside Politics. I hope you're adequately informed in terms of matters politics. My name is Jesse Rogers. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.